not understand what I'm saying, then feel free to raise your hand at any point and ask for clarification because my tie. But to talk a little bit about the drilling engineering, drill site manager path with Chervron, I just want to give you a little history about myself. I've been out of university for roughly 15 years now, sitting in your chair right there, and an oil company came and basically said, okay, would you like a career with our company? And at the time I was thinking, no, I want to stay within my discipline. And the company basically said, we're going to challenge you for the rest of your career. And as any normal engineer, you want to be challenged as much as possible. So I accepted the position, and since then, I worked in the U.S. for a few years, and I had the fortunate chance to go work in the Middle East. I worked over there, worked in Russia, worked in Indonesia, here in Asia, and I got to work in Paris, France for a few years as well. But you don't have to work globally with Chervron, but the opportunity is also there as well. It's just like any company. We're looking for people. We're looking for smart engineers. All engineers obviously are smart, but we're also looking for another type of engineer, the ones that are leaders, the ones that are adaptable in any situation. And if there's a problem at the rig site or inside the office, that you have the work ethic and the heart to make sure that you come up with the proper solution for the company. So every engineer can make a great engineer at Chervron. It's just a matter of how you do your work ethic, how you treat other people, how your professionalism is, and all the rest of it is very commonplace. Kumprita, I'll let you explain a little bit about the drilling engineer path. But before she gets here, drilling and completions, it's a little bit different, and we're going to go to a different slide, guys. Okay. But to get a little bit about drilling completions, when you drill a well, it's just not like drilling a hole in the ground, because you might think that that's how you drill in an oil well, but in fact you drill wells in all different types of directions. I mean, you start down and you go out and you go in, and you're just trying to find the oil and gas. So what drilling engineers do is they maximize how you're going to find the oil and gas working with the other parts of Chervron as well. The drilling engineers, they can spend your whole career in different locations just maximizing how you're going to drill these wells. And it's a full-time challenging position in itself. And a lot of the challenge of a drilling engineer is what we call operations. It's called the operations part, where you're drilling 24 hours a day, your phone could be ringing saying, okay, we're having this problem at the rig site. We need your help as an engineer to help find a solution. So it's pretty intense with the drilling engineer role. And then for completions, once drilling finishes drilling the hole, then what we call completions. It's actually completing the oil well, because you have to now get the oil or gas up to the surface. So there's various ways where you get oil and gas up to the surface as well. And the last thing about drilling completions, before I get to the slide here a little bit, is did they say how many people are within Chervron globally? What's the guess on how many people are employed by Chervron? Yeah, we got an iPhone here for you. 60,000? All right. 60,000 and iPhone winner. There you go. All right, here's the next one for you. How many people do you think are within drilling and completions out of that 60,000? Feel free to call out numbers. $25,000. Lower than that. So out of 60,000, there's lower than 25. So what's the next guess? 20,000? Lower.
10,000.
Lower. Lower than 10,000. How much? 1,000 higher.
2,000.
2,000 higher. Lower than 5.
4.
4. Lower than 4. There's only one more number.
2,500.
That's close. 3,000. All right. Yeah. So there's 3,000 drilling and completions employees. Now here's not a trick question, but the reputation of Chevron. When you hear about the oil and gas industry, obviously you think of issues in the Gulf of Mexico where rigs are on fire, and there are those circumstances. And a lot of people look at the drilling and completions organization. So out of 60,000 employees, there's 3,000 drilling completion. We spend roughly about 40% of Chevron's money, but as the way our vice president puts it, on a global level, we actually have 100% of the company's reputation on our shoulders. Because if there's an issue that happens out on a drilling rig, CNN and Fox News, and so the reputation is there. But so it's drilling completions. It's a little bit different, but all the career paths are quite fine with Chevron. To get into what we do with our drilling engineers, each career path within Chevron has its own distinct profile about how you move in the organization. Oh, this is a confusing slide. So I'm not afraid to take 20 minutes. I'll take it down to 2 minutes. But in a nutshell, what we do is we bring in fresh engineers, just like yourself, and we put you out on the rig for 3 years, and you work 28 days on the rig and 28 days off the rig. So we want you to develop competencies at the rig site. Now for the engineers, we then bring you into the office for 2 years after that, after your 3 years on the rig site, and you start working as a regular engineer, still within our training program. One exciting part of being here in Thailand is I'm actually part of the team that we're developing a training center here in Thailand, where we're going to have 120 trainees out at the rig site. 60 of them are going to be Thai participants, and the other 60 are going to be from other countries around the world. So it's giving a wonderful opportunity for not only Thais, but for the expats to come in and train on Chevron rigs. Because it's amazing, here in the Gulf of Thailand, all of Chevron globally, within the Gulf of Thailand, we drill 43% of all of Chevron's global footage. We have operations in all of the countries that we talked about. So this is our busiest location around the world, and we know that with the universities over here, you guys are going to help us go to the next level. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. We currently have 10 drilling rigs out there, and we need you guys to help us out in our future. And with that, I'll let start taking over. But if you have any questions at all with drilling completions, just let me know.